What's up, boys and girls? Happy Friday. We got a full slate today that I'm excited about. I like today's slate. We got 12 games. I wish they just left everything on the main slate, like just run every game, like run all 15. But because I want some of that Philly action. We're going to talk about. We were just talking about this before. If you happen to not have looked at the weather today, you probably should. um, the wind's basically blowing out in every stadium that's not a dome. Like that's and it's blown out significantly. So I just think I think there's going to be a lot of fly balls that just go today. I don't think there's going to be a good pitching slate. I think get 14 to 18 points out of your pitchers and don't overpay, and I think it puts you in a good spot.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how all these games are the wind's blowing out. There's looks like one game with the wind blowing in, so it's just kind of weird how it worked like that. But I agree with your take on that.
Well, yeah, the one blowing in is Miami. They're inside, so
Yeah.
right. So like it doesn't even matter because they're inside. Right? They're playing in Houston. They'll have they'll have the roof closed. Like that's but I mean. It's blown out 20 in Chicago. It's 16 in New York. It's 13 in Fenway. It's 21 in Baltimore. It's 13 in LA. Like the only spot, it is blowing in is at Seattle. So, which I don't love that game anyways today. I do like a little, I do like a little Bryce Miller, but other than that, it's not there. But just know like there's probably going to be some guys that hit home runs today that don't normally do, and it could be a very wild slate because of that, because it's also humid while it's doing it, which it's just going to make the ball jump. So let's start on the lineup side. We're over halfway through lineups already.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I like the first game out of the gate. I like Baltimore today. I like Milwaukee as well against Tyler Wells. Listen, I get Freddie's pitching well. It just is if he comes in at 25% ish. I haven't pulled the recent ownership projection. I'm gonna pull it now. I like having in 3 max for me. I like having a Baltimore, off of him on 1. What are your thoughts with that game today?
Yeah. If you look at the underlying metrics of Peralta, they're kind of sketchy. So I'm down with the Baltimore stack, especially with the wind blowing out there. I don't mind the Brewers either. Wells, he's shown some strikeout upside, but he also gives up a ton of home runs.
Yeah, I mean, and they've priced him up. I do like Willie at shortstop a little bit, just because he's only $4,100, but Churio's at the top of the lineup. He's still only $3,600 on that side. They priced up Hoskins. He's $4,600 now. Contreras, again, he's pricey, but he's a great catcher. Baltimore finally moved Kowser up to second because he's just right. I mean, basically the hottest hitter in baseball, him and Mookie. So Jackson Holiday's still, I mean, he's up to 3,900, but he's still cheap. And I kind of said today, like, Jackson's going to have a breakout game, and I want to be ahead on it. Like, he's going to Hulk smash one of these games. And if I can go, put a stack with the second highest owned pitcher against him tonight, like that's, with the way the wind's blowing, I kind of like that side. So, and I might even go like just a smaller stack there with Baltimore. I might pick and choose. I also don't hate, especially like if I'm at least 20 max, I'd probably stack this game, right, and go across there. What do you think about game stacking?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that on this game. Like you were saying, I kind of like going like Holiday, Gunner, and Kowser, and that being my Orioles stack. That's a pretty solid and cheap stack.
Yeah, right. Because Kowser is grossly underpriced still. He's still only $2,500, guys. Like literally, when I made him the poster boy the other day, he hit 2 home runs. Like I just said, like he's just mispriced at what he is. And Jackson's only priced up because he's getting the hype. Meanwhile, Kowser's literally knocking the cover off the ball. Man, did you see that Rockies lineup? Whew, it's ugly. So that's a lot of We know how Gosman looked. Everybody's complaining him down. You like paying up for Mr. Gosman today with that strikeout upside?
I haven't looked at his own. Well, he's about 30. Yeah, I do. I mean, he could literally. I don't think he's going to be completely full. He's probably looking at 90 pitches max, but he could still get 10 Ks against this lineup. So I like it.
They literally have 1, 2, 3. They have 5 hitters with over a 30% K rate. Like that's wild. I'm surprised where's Toronto coming in against Feltner, right? Like everybody's just been beating them up. Oh yeah, they're coming up now. I knew they'd come. So that Blue Jay stack's coming. I'm gonna fade them. They just haven't hit well enough yet for me this year. You want any exposure to Toronto today?
I do. Any team playing Colorado, I'm going to have interest. I don't think the Blue Jays are very good, but they probably don't have to be in this spot.
Yeah, and that's the difference here, right? We're talking MME, GPP entry guys versus, me where I'm going 3 max single entry. So that's probably not the spot I'm going to pick for there. We get Reed Detmers gets another matchup against this Sox team. He struck out 12 last week against them. You think he's got in the wheelhouse to do it again?
I do, and how it's seeing that same matchup again. He had a pretty good game too. I kind of like both pitchers. I don't like that the wind's blowing out, so that part kind of worries me.
Yeah, that's one of my concerns there, right? Over 70% humidity, 13 miles an hour out. I definitely, could see some bats go there. And the Angels pin is so bad. Like that pin is atrocious, but I'm really looking at probably getting some exposure there. Next, one of my favorite stacks today. Nobody's on the Royals versus Sevy today. Like, did I miss the memo? Is Sevy a lead again? Did like what am I missing here?
No, I don't know why people are not rostering the Royals. They're still cheap. I like them today against Sevy.
Yeah, I mean, he has over a 200 ISO against both sides of the plate. Like guys, it's not like, and I get he's cheap, so I think he's getting a lot of steam because he's cheap, right? That $6,800 price point's like getting people up. But man, give me that top 5, right? Give me Garcia, Witt, Vinny, Salvi. I love Salvi today. MJ Melendez, right? You can get some Velasquez in there to get a little different. And then same, Renfroe is going to break out one of these days. I don't know if today's the day or not, but right, Renfroe will have a big game, and I'm sure I won't play him. So, and I kind of like Waka on the other side. I like Waka versus this Mets lineup. He has some good underlying metrics against these guys. What do you think of Mr. Michael today?
I don't mind him. He's fine. The Mets aren't a good team, so I'm fine with getting to some.
Yeah, that's an interesting spot. The Braves traveled down to Miami, and Trevor Rogers actually has some good metrics against the Braves so far. Again, I'm going to be looking at, these guys that are 8K, I'm going to be looking at ownership, and that'll help me there. And I get it's the Braves, but Rogers has actually done really well against them. What do you think of this game here?
I kind of like the offense a little bit. As far as Rogers, if he was a little bit cheaper, I'd have interest. If he was like 7K, I think 8K is kind of tough.
Yeah, well, that's why I think he's going to get no ownership, right? If he was 6,700 to 7,200, I think he'd be super owned. On the other side, we saw how bad Fried was this last start, and he's priced accordingly now. One of the bat I do like there, if you're looking to full stack the game from the Braves, Josh Bell's crushed Max Fried. So if I'm going somewhere, I'm going probably Bell there. And Berger's good against lefties, but that's a spot I'd look at there if I was going to go back. You got to try to get any Marlins exposure?
Maybe a little bit. I actually like Fried today. Going against this Marlins team, they've just been bad, and I think this is a good get right spot for Fried.
Yep, especially at that price, like we're not going to get a chance to pitch him a lot at $8,700, I think. So like that's there. Yeah, I mean, Sebi is now 1, 2, 3, like fifth highest owned pitcher on the slate. Like, man, sign me up against that. That's what I love going
It's a
against.
good slate.
Yeah, that's gets funky. Now the game that you're just going to probably have to eat the chalk in and eat the ownership. The Reds are at the Sox, 15 to 20 mile an hour winds, blowing out. Flexing Abbott. Where are you landing here? I saw your cover boy on your article.
Yeah, I have to get to some Reds here. The issue the Reds have is striking out, but they're going against a pitcher that don't strike anybody out. So they all look great here. 1 through 9, I'm fine with any of them.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's, Stevenson saves you some money at catcher today at 3,700. Steers, finally priced up at 54. Benson's hitting second again. He's only $3,800. I mean, you can make it work, especially with that wind. And then Andrew Abbott, I'm not taking any exposure to him today. Not at $8,200 with that wind in that park. But man, that Sox lineup is bad though.
It's bad.
Right. I mean, Moncada's, I think they've said 60 they put him on today. So, right, like that lineup's like, that's rough. Do you even have the courage to do anything there in MME?
I like Abbott against that team. Just, I don't think I can play any White Sox. So,
yeah, I'm not even that crazy, and I'm crazy. So, man, we got another Rangers Astros matchup. This has been a lot early. A couple of the guys have really smashed Dunning. I think Altuve is going to end up pretty highly owned because he has good career metrics. I like Tucker today versus him. And then Garcia's ownership, I get he's pricey, guys, but Adolis's ownership is still just criminally low for as well as he's hitting the ball.
Yeah, I have interest in both offenses here. Not really either pitcher from the game, but they have two of the worst bullpens so far this season. I think it could be a lot of offense.
Yeah, that's same. Like, I think this is going to be a good spot. And Sam, I'm going to be just chasing stack ownership here, right? Looking at see where we come in now. We just did an update, and yeah, I mean the Astros are pretty highly owned. They're 1/6 highest stack, but where are the Rangers? Yeah, Rangers are right there too, but they're only 4%. So I kind of like that. I'll probably go. This is another one. There's a chance in 3 max. I'll game stack this one, right? Try to get as much as I can from both sides, and get them from there. Pitching matchup of the night: Paul Blackburn versus Jake Irvin. How are you feeling about this?
I actually have interest in both pitchers. You got two bad offenses. The Nationals have more strikeouts with Gallo in the lineup now, so I like both pitchers. I don't think you need to get to Irvin on this slate, but I'm fine punting with him if it lets you fit another big bat. And then as far as offense goes, I wouldn't mind a stack against Irvin either. They're so cheap; they could score 5 runs and be in the winning lineup.
Yeah, Toro's still super cheap at 2,700. JJ's still only 3,400, but I like Irvin today at $5,200 as much as they can. I'll take some exposure to. He might make my SE just because, again, right? All of a sudden, if you add him in, now I can stack, Seager, Alvarez, Tucker, and Garcia, and then get some cheap bats, right? Yeah. Like I can start getting a little more expensive there with him being $5,200. Paul Blackburn looked good in his last outing. So again, 7,600, he's definitely in play for me today. Cubs, Mariners. I like a little Bryce Miller. Other than that, I'm really not interested in this game much. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm not really. I like getting to a little bit of Mariners, but they've just been so bad. I probably wouldn't do it unless just MME only.
Yeah, it's just too big a slate, right? Like, I mean, I can see having a lineup or two, if you got 100, 150 in, but now, here comes our kryptonite, right? I love how the cards project today against Fat and the Diamondbacks. We know I don't get them right, but man, like, if we get, do we get early last season Fat or do we get playoff Fat? If we get early last season, right, they at their price they could really do a lot of damage today.
Yeah, I kind of have interest in both sides. I like getting to some Cardinals bats, but I also like getting some exposure to Fat just because of his strikeout upside and how cheap he is.
Yeah, I love Walker today, and only $4,900. He's priced right. Blaze is still super cheap at 3,500. So there's definitely both sides of that. Marte's hit great, like that's in play. And then we got the wind blowing out. San Diego at the Dodgers. You like either the pitching side here? You're gonna try to get any exposure on the pitching side?
I do have interest in Yamamoto. I mean, I'm not scared of the Padres. The wind's blowing out, but I think he's going to be a good pitcher. I think he's a potential Cy Young candidate eventually. So I think as time comes, he's going to just keep getting better and better. So I have interest there at 9,600.
Yeah, same. Like I might go him over Gosman just because of like ownership, right? Like if there's a massive gap there, just give me the guy that's lower owned. And then tonight, Shohei has 2 home runs and 5 at bats in his career versus Michael King. So, right, like even if like I can't get it to the Dodgers I want, I'm gonna have Shohei like in a lineup just because of that. I really like Hernandez. Hernandez has kind of torched him in his career so far. He's faced him a little more because of the whole American League thing. And Hernandez has just hit him. So, and I like the lefty bats, right? Like I like Muncy, I like Outman. Probably still no Lux, but I'm definitely in 3 max going to try to have a Dodger lineup tonight.
Yeah, I like the Dodgers. They look good in this spot. It's pretty hard to full stack them, but I think, like you mentioned, getting a mini stack of them is just so much upside.
Yeah, and then the irony of today, like when I put out my betting report, like some of the money, the way it's moved. So in that game, right? Like it is. I'm pulling it up here because I don't remember the exact number. It is. The Dodgers are minus 196 favorites, but like as of a few hours ago, San Diego had 88% of the money on them. Another reason I like the Nats today and I like Irvin, Oakland has 95% of the money on them. I like going with against the public. So that's like some big spots. Crazy one is everybody's on Colorado today. 93% of the money on Colorado, which makes me like Gosman a little bit more. And then all the money is on Milwaukee today, 94% of it. So, right, like I take that into consideration when I'm looking at that because, okay, hey, the public's telling me this, right? They're all saying everybody's betting, like all the money's going on the Brewers. I like the fact that I can take an Oriole stack and stack against them, right? Like you can mix some of those Oriole bats with, some Dodgers, and get some exposure that way. And especially, like I said, if you throw Irvin, and one of the 7-8K pitchers, you can, open some bats up there.
Yep.
What's your favorite spot of the night?
I would say Reds, but I feel like that's cheating. So
Yeah.
let me pick another one. Reds are definitely number 1. I'm going to go with Blue Jays 2. Let me see.
Okay. Interesting. I like it. I really, it's hard. It's hard to not like the Dodgers today versus King. And then for me, the Royals, like I don't believe in Severino. Like them and the Orioles, like those are like, I'll probably end up like Oriole, Royal, Dodger, like main stack. Like that'll probably like I'll mix and match from those three to kind of try to get me in there. So again, with that win, I want to take advantage, see if we can get that right.
Yeah, and I like the Rangers Astros games. I know we just got the Rangers lineup a little bit ago. It's pretty good, except they got Josh Smith in the 5-hole. It's kind of different.
Yeah, he's hit okay though.
Yeah,
Right.
has.
And what's he priced at today? I haven't looked.
31.
Right. So I mean, yeah, I mean, that's a really good price, right? Like that
Mm-hmm.
opens up some doors in that game. I'd agree. A lot of offense today. I think today is going to be a big offensive day. So I wouldn't be shocked to see a pretty big number take stuff down tonight, as far as that goes. And then, all right, who you got going yard today, buddy?
My home run call today is Ellie De Cruz.
All right, you're getting him at plus 390. And hey, it can go inside the park or out of the park. He doesn't care which one. I'm going Shohei, but we're calling it 2. I think the odds are just above 200 for him to go yard once. I think he's going yard twice today. So give me that win, right? Kings, like I said, he's just crushed Kings so far. He's going to throw him that slider. He's going to hang it, and Shohei going to hit it, to the top of the stadium there.
I like it.
All right, boy. Well, let's go have a good weekend, and we'll see you all in the Discord.